advise Parliament on policies related to military and retired service personnel, transitional provisions on special schedules to ensure that veterans from past and current service periods are not left behind in the transition to a new legal order. Marginalized or historically underserved communities, persons with disabilities, plenty or fight man, only fight na hand nogat, leg nogat, high nogat, upside body no stop. Let us not draft the Constitution merely for law, but for justice. Let us not draft a Constitution that only caters for those retreats, but we must try to make a Constitution where we must halibim na include all kita kain-kain man, Lodisla Republic of North Solomons. In conclusion, we have a solemn duty to make this Constitution a sanctuary of dignity, justice, and remembrance. In including our veterans and special groups, we do not weaken our Constitution, but we enrich it. We do not open it to favoritism. We anchor it in fairness. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Member forward. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Chair, sorry, my apologies. On behalf of my women of Central Bougainville and also the women of Bougainville, I'd like to thank the BPCP Law Report Blue Play Wakim and also AG for your team in putting together this draft, and also for us, the members of the House, to deliberate on it and provide our valuable inputs come inside Lehem. Me and Dosim get all talk will not colleague members all talking plenty all good point all raise him, which me no need to go through Lehem, but me got some a couple of points that I wanted to make reflection on as well as part of the debate. One of the areas is under the Chapter 1, the areas of North Solomons. Before I wanted to say something, I also want to acknowledge the fact that I am comforted that with the input that AGM give him most of the issues that we have raised will be covered underneath the organic law, where us as parliamentarians we will decide on what goes into the organic laws Bluyumi, as we eventually endorse him this constitution Bluyumi, and come up law Bluyumi, we will have all the, I'm assuming that this will be part of the clause that will be included as the organic towards some of the things that we need further deliberations on. Loemba capturing underneath the constitution. So this is something that we all know that by me all issues you may raise in Lem will be determined and reflected through law or organic laws whereby you may provide him as specific subjects to it. So underneath law, Madam Chair, underneath law areas of North Solomons, I think this is one of the critical areas that when we're covering the areas of North Solomons, I noticed in the Schedule 1 where you may put him Lapigo, it has to be very specific because right now the water areas of Bougainville and Mr. Panay, the provincial boundaries Bluyumi. So this is something that how you may translate him go inside where at the same time that same area, the Republic of North Bougainville will also be taken into this border Bluyumi between, which go close to as far as the seas of Alotauza. And Liglikab go through Solomon Island and on the other side. So this is something where, but obviously me vakabarim inside law constitution Bluyumi as well too. Narapla something where I've heard some of our members actually make mention to it, Madam Speaker, to do with marine grounds and all artisanal fishing product, and also in reference to our tuna. I always recall the conversation, or one of the things that AG used to make remark to is when we become an independent state, we by default and automatically everything that we stop inside the waters will blame me, but we won't need to talk about the products within the 3 nautical mile. We won't need to talk about anything within 12 nautical mile or any extension at all. So I'm comforted by this plan. The other thing that I wanted to also raise underneath the education is for these laws to be, and I know that when we're talking behind the notion of having these laws being understood by everyone, I think a big recommendation for us as well to put these laws into practice by making it become a product within the education system for our school students to be able for our children to understand our laws. And at the same time, they can be able to translate it into exercise where they grow up knowing exactly what the laws are all about inside law. A new Bougainville that you may like lo kirapema. So I would strongly, and that would be an activity that would be carried out, but these laws can be interpreted in a way that our children now and in the future can understand and be able to quote it and be able to make reference to the laws and take ownership of it. So these are some of the inclusion that I feel that could be included into the law Blayumi Olgeta. Aside from the naming, between all the sentiments that have been shared, yes, we have a product, Bougainville has developed products that are called Bougainville brand, and at the same time, with all the things that we are doing, I think there's a bit of a sensitivity towards the naming of North Solomon, region of North Solomon, and also the Bougainville, region of Bougainville, Republic region of Bougainville, but this is something that we will decide how it will be. But importantly is how this name, even if we call it the North Solomon, region of North Solomon, Bougainville, region of North Solomon, we can always market it in a way that eventually it becomes a name that represents a new country. But it's us, the people have decided this name, and also it is equally important for us to endorse a name that represents us well as well. So, me like to also in closing on behalf of Mama Blumi lo Central Bougainville, na Olmeri lo Bougainville, me like endorse him this report, and talk thank you again lo AG and the team, lo put him together. Thank you, Chair.
The Honourable Member for North Nasio.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Me like Sanab na Makimol people of Milo South Nasoi, na contribute to this important debate lo Constitution Blomibla. That this Constitution that is emerging at this time, na melo geopolitics, the geopolitics. Look Blomibla. So me like training more leaders. Na me like make him legally comment. Me thank him BPC lo make him big work, good work to the leadership lo AG, na president, na vice president, na all members too lo contribute, na all people of Bougainville, all contribute him all tintin blongol inside all this la constitution blomibla. Kupla me look lo preamble blomibla na me support him actually this la constitution, so comment blow me in support na me hamamas sopa me play come on a continual basis me play come to a finalization so this la law blow me play lo comment blow me lo preamble lo North Solomon's somebody does it talk me endorse him lo name blow me play Bougainville colonial name North Solomon, maybe some story tumla blomi black King Solomon Saxingolo here. Maybe that's how we come about. The 1975, maybe we need to ask those people at the time law provincial government how we may adopt him name North Solomon. So all line blomi black before only got name regions North, South, and Central. So one black thing I'm Kachim one black survey long origins. All them name before line blow not all neon is a call him Bougainville. All line blow tele was a call him Bougainville. All line blow Nasio is a call him Bougainville. It's like I know. So regions by nominating Molne or Lapun is stop the last people standing, last man standing. About it talk him. Some black I name where all old people is a call him some 200 years or 300, 500 years ago back. And then it's a name by Kamantaplo BP, Bougainville Constituent Planning Commission. Only by look. Oh yeah, north is a call him Muslim, it's a kind. Or south, or central kind of Muslim. And then maybe we come to one black guy name, we can adopt him. I'm black tinting. Now we have North Solomons, na Bougainville. So it's also good to have some indigenous name. Lord is a nation. We have some indigenous name, Lord. Some parts of the world, country, some indigenous names. So thank you. Those are land resources na environment. One comment to leader ko totok lo sablo giraun. Lo sablo acquisition lo giraun compulsory acquisition. People ko poret na look lo me. Maybe I'm alright. Lo constitution maybe talk business we can stop or some. But lo separate legislation, we can detail him how we like him more. Or law by we can manage him. One black thinking maybe lo expropriation. Maybe you may need to look expropriating more foreign-owned land. You make out plantations that Bougainville now need him to development. Working farming, rice, cattle farming, only something. We only see no clear yet. All some all ground that was even kissing long all. Tumuna blow before time colonial time. Maybe not expropriate people's land, but expropriate foreign land, and then distribute him. People can use him for productive development. Good governance. To have good governance, all kita something is that good tinting me ko put him law, but I think one black tinting by mas ika transitional provisions establish this la constitution leadership lo imi by me kat look leadership lo imi. Leadership will make a nation strong. Kupla ethical leadership. There are some few issues, few things that destroys a leadership. One plan corruption. All money siphoning or leaders or public service siphoning money block country. Using long unjust ways. And that creates a problem inside the system of government. You mean looking all bribery issues. Bribery is a corruption issue. All leadership, public service involved in Islam. I mean no good. So it's these kinds of things that will destroys a nation. Destroy nation. Only by putting you lodi now. Only by putting you lodi now, the lenders, and then when you unable to pay, only by getting more resources cheaply, and then by collapsing country. So it's a up and coming nation to be, but you must look leadership. It must be a good, ethical, strong leadership that you may by behind in this book. You may talk to long and by good blah, and by strong blah, government blah. Na embai good blah because all kupla laws is stop. It's the implementation and the institutions for government must work. The courts must prosecute. Now correctional services must stop. Look out him man that you prosecute him also. Institutions for government and by making difference. Making difference law. Chapter 3 you may talk. So you may lead us now, me demand him, in the public service. Law step him up straight. leadership. Mi bla to be a new nation, leadership and paramount threat. Mi kon talk to conduct of public officers. Mi very important. Conduct of public officers. Now you your leaders too. You your leaders too. So, all the laws and stuff, legislations and stuff, it's actually making those laws and legislations work. Implementation and big plus something. We have to make our system work, function. It must function. So leadership in Wambla, something where we talking about constitution, and now demanding you your leaders at all levels, you your political line, administration, color district, you go right down low, or the ward levels, and we big plus something too much. And we go to law protection of whistleblowers. And law is stop, whistleblower by blowing whistle. Suppose law is not stop, whistleblower is not blowing whistle, and by pour it. So when we have laws, laws must function, laws must be implemented. Rights, low rights. Sometimes I think too much rights to no good. Too much rights. We must got manage him rights. We must manage him rights. Rights belong. Rights belong. Citizens belong me. Right law education. Right law education and big plus something. Plenty of young people belong me now must go through education system. Only must school acquiring new methods, skill, and information to be good citizens of this nation. Plenty young people now, because law school fees, or local staff law, out of the school system, only must stop inside, and it's a big number of young people, or local left out. I think we are making a mistake, and because something young people must be in school, and all human resources here, and more resources, human resource people. So they must be educated to be able to participate. Taking leadership this is a new plan nation. Standard of living, because you got law talking standard of living. Misa look na. Sometimes I talk. Me play blessed. Bougainville is blessed with kai with resources, but Misa look sample communities so no staff good. I mean no straight. I mean no right. Maskat warai kolo house, sanitation kolo house, maskat decent housing for Slakaina. So could play me put in law here. This is one big play area where by me motivating more citizens play me time. Housing is there. Time will sit down good law. Sit down good law. Time level from standard of living I could play. Right law, private property. Yes, law is protecting right law, private property, but maybe we need to mention it so that by no got ambiguity. All money must got protection law explicitly, law. Some property, all properties belong all right to private property. But we must spell them out clearly so that law protects them. Law protects them, so will feel comfortable live law by elections, suppose city vacated. Comment below me or some time me could play, me call election because conditions will have changed. Conditions will have changed, and not just to get a runner up. So yes, it got implications for cost. By election, by costing by costing money, but conditions have changed. Maybe people have gone somewhere. The situation, the constituency is changed, and maybe people need to elect. Kolo process can elect him new leader Blongo. So sample tintin lo transitional provisions. Imi ko tokto lo sampla wambla banking, central banking. you may also need to mention in commercial banking too. Maybe something by you must look at transitional arrangements going forward to this constitution because important function where involved in sovereign function banking. And by me need him central banking central banking commercial banking. So this line dikit tinti mami ko sarim lo side lo governance too. Yumi talk lo decentralizing decentralizing lo structure lo mi play decentralized down to what na community government areas. So and funding by must accompany these are structures and by me looking more functional community governments now wards lo work belong all. So you can look in only like at improvement long all work all functions only making with the centralized function lo form of government lo mibla you go down lo ward na community government levels. And so this slide is it's good that this slide is stopped. All cultures emphasizes the unique cultural identity of the people of North Solomons, given the diversity of cultures and languages. So I think something too. One by one national language I mean local language lo preamble. But you need to choose him. And traditions in the system. This constitution serves to recognize, protect, and promote these identities. This is vital for fostering social cohesion and pride among the people, particularly in the context of historical injustices and marginalization where all people like me conflict resolution and peace building. Given the region's history of conflict during the Bougainville Civil War, the mechanisms for conflict resolution and reconciliations are essential. This involves war reparations. Last time, May 17 celebrations, people are celebrating. You got different levels of all young people all being holding weapon. Different levels of contribution to the war. All young people all being holding weapon. You got some line all being cooking kai na. You got some line all being look out in mana. So I think this date May 17 too. Me I must need having one kupla memorial where me look sabe what happened. One contribution actually happened this war. Some for the war. Now, simply that story must be told. Story must stop. No good or future generations behind about it go. Something not true. So Sambla even curious, Sambla cooking kai, Sambla make him this la, Sambla make him this la, Sambla carry more weapons. So as part of the history, part of peace and reconciliation, this must be there. It must stop. You may fight one time all the soldiers. All that story must be told so that Lord, this a day we celebrate him. Good plus story must stop. It must be written now. So all future generations, only by looking, only by believing, yes, something true will come up. So that is important. May 17 must have strong history. Strong history. That you make him got pride. By my mama say, he got sambla, young combatants below me, only got a scars is tapa. So need look at recognition. So I'm good that through the constitution law, me can give him look several is like all work. Law sustainable law clause chapter 2, sustainable development, chapter 2, law sambla and environment protection and stewardship. Sambla time in good law this aspect. lo utilize mo lo all kalabus lo productive work lo nation building. Productive work lo nation building. Only high dollar staff lo kalabus na mi kaman lo kauti mall, it's an expense big plan. Money was so. Before lo after colonial time, all sa kalabus is a working all work, public service work, public civic work. So we need to look at this law so that development is sustainable. We have human resources there that we can utilizing all the inmates, lo work development, lo farming, lo carpentry, lo infrastructure work, and all kind of skills training too. We mean have staff lo, all kind of institutions also, or can line him. So we are only finishing temblong all too, and all come up all useful citizens to society. Only got skill, only acquire him through lo correctional service, and by sustainable. Or skill only kind skill, men and women only acquire him, and then lives belong all too by sustainable. So one important something. All the youths blame me. All the youths blame me too. The youths that is a big population, and going forward inside the law. This constitution must incorporate principles of sustainable development that helps to ensure that the country's natural resources are managed in a way that benefits future generations. So, publicly contribution from me, the law in supporting this law come up, me endorsing this law, giving support for me, this constitution, me plug total law, debate him, me giving support long him. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Kongara. I will make this the last.
Thank you, new plug government Yumi, on behalf of the people of Kongara constituency. Pasal through me like even look long. BCPC chairman, president, vice president, vice chairman, the attorney general, and BCPC members. Long big hard work only make him. Na only come up one time this is the second draft constitution long Republic of North Solomon. Me like acknowledging to technical line certainly come up in this draft constitution. Thank you, Professor Tony Riken, one rapla. Okay, me like to call same this constitution where you may till one time. Lo come up in this pla, long come on top of this pla. Half now you must come up long in. And been costing you me lifelong plenty mana Mary. Ex-combatants na civilians. Na time you could one time this pala constitution by me must careful through. Not plus something by me must careful through lo weddings. Plenty sabeman also high team. Olo tinting where amino straight. Iko insala olo weddings. This plateau by you me must careful through longen. Mi oklo sanap long all key principles where me play sanap longem na making fight na mi okolo scaling this draft constitution all key principles number 1 law defending rights for all people na mi mas the rights for all people they are already captured in this constitution and stop finish plenty kind of rights. Right to live peacefully on our own land. Right to ownership of the land. Right to the ownership of the resources. Right to have shelter under his head, under our head. Right to food, right to worship, and plenty more rights. Listen, we can continue. You go down. Okay, number 2, long retaining back culture and principle. Me plabo bin sanap longen na me plabi making fight. Retain back that culture that is been washed away